DaVinci Resolve is packed with powerful tools, but most people only scratch the surface. And this is why, in today's video, I'm going to show you free pro color grading tips that can make your videos look more polished and more intentional. But before we dive in, I have a small announcement, as I've been quietly working on something very special for you guys, a resource that finally brings together tools, workflows, and color grading tricks that I use for my professional work. So if you want first access, join my private mailing list below this video, and trust me, you want to be on that list. But now, let's move to today's video. So here we have the first shot that was beautifully graded, and it was graded with my PowerGrade that you can get under the link below this video. And I want to show you a great way to enhance these lights over here. So let me open the effects compound node first, and here I have a node that I have labeled as Aperture Defraction. The Aperture Defraction is one of DaVinci Resolve's inbuilt effects, and I really want to show you how it works. So let's just grab it from the Effects tab and let's drop it onto our node. And here we instantly get a very natural looking effect, causing a glow around bright highlights. This is before and after. So now let's customize it a bit. Here we have a few different settings. First, we can choose between different iris shapes. So we have here hexagon, triangle, then square, then pentagon, then hexagon, then heptagon, and the octagon. So you can experiment with those, but I will go for the triangle as I like how it looks. Next, we can change the aperture size. So I'll leave it around here. Then we have the blade curvature. Higher curvature results in more rounded blades, leading to softer, more circular effect. I will leave it around here. Then we have the rotation. So this one is easy to understand. We can rotate the effect. Then we have the H&V ratio that adjusts the aspect ratio of the iris shape. Then we have the angle. And then we can also shift the chroma. So here we can change the intensity of the color separation. Okay, then we have more diffraction controls. The result gamma adjusts the brightness and contrast of the diffraction layer. And the result scale adjusts the scale of it. Then what's important to know is that it's always best to leave the normalized brightness on, as this is what's happening when we deselect it. And then we can also additionally adjust the brightness. And we can also colorize the effect if we want to, but I will just leave it white. And now let's have a look at our before and after. The next tip is don't be afraid of dark film looks. When we first start learning color grading, we are often encouraged to keep our grades bright, clean, and safe, and that's a great way to understand the basics. But that approach can sometimes feel limiting. What I want to show you today is something a little different. Don't be afraid to experiment, as dark, moody film looks can be incredibly powerful when used with intention. So here I have another clip graded with my PowerGrade. This is before and after. It looks nice, but let's transform it into something dark and moody. So I'll open my primaries compound node, where I have performed the primary correction before. And I have used my primary wheels to adjust the exposure. This is before and after. And it's looking good. But let's combine primary wheels with the white curve adjustments. So let's open our curves over here. And then I'll create 3 points on my curve in the shadows, midtones, and highlights. And a tip here is to hold the Option or Alt button when doing this to avoid the curve moving. And now let's start pushing the curve down gently and gradually to create darker look. And then here we can adjust highlights, like this. I want a bit more of the definition. And this is our before and after. We have completely changed the mood of the clip. And the third tip would be to use the Midtones Details control. Midtones Details control enhances or reduces contrast in the midtone range. which includes most of the fine textures in faces, fabrics, and surfaces. It makes textures pop or smooths them out without affecting highlights or shadows much. So let me show you how this works using this clip. And again, this is our before and after. So let's perform these adjustments using this adjustment node over here. And I will zoom in as I want you to be able to see the structure better. Okay, so when we push the Midtones Details slider to the left, we are getting that soft, dreamy look. And when we push it to the right, we make it pop. As I have mentioned, we enhance the contrast nicely in the midtones range. This is before and after. So let me zoom out to show you before and after. But I have pushed it to the max so you can see it on YouTube. But now I have noticed that it's a bit too much for this clip as it makes the details around the hat look too funky. So let's take out a bit of it, like this. And this is before and after. And now I also want to show you why we shouldn't really rely on the sharpening tool in DaVinci Resolve if we want to boost the contrast. So let's reset what we have done and let's go to the blur tab over here. And then if you have purchased my course, you can also find a link to it below this video. You know that for the sharpening, we usually can only go down to 0.46, not more than that. So let me zoom in to show you before and after. I really hope you can see it. It's a very, very subtle sharpening effect, because if we push more like this, we are getting this very exaggerated look that degrades the image and makes it look overly processed. This is before and after. So this is something to keep in mind. Thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. I hope that you like them. If you do, hit subscribe and don't forget to leave a comment below. See you soon.